All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Paul Thottam. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says reforms announced in the budget will boost the economy and financially empower every citizen. Government wants to simplify income tax process and increase compliance, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Industry chambers welcome the budget, saying it will give a big push to investment, agriculture and rural sector. Second Air India special flight leaves for New Delhi from Wuhan with 323 Indian and 7 Maldivian citizens on board. And in sports, India to take on New Zealand in the fifth and final T20 cricket match at Mount Maunganui. Serbia's Novak, Djokovic and Dominic Thiem of Austria to clash in the men's singles final of the Australian Open tennis in Melbourne. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the reforms announced in the budget will boost the economy and financially empower every citizen. In a televised address, Mr. Modi said, "Government has given a lot to emphasis on the agriculture, infrastructure, textiles and technology in the budget to increase employment generation." He said to double the income of the farmers, 16 action points have been created which will increase employment in the rural areas.
बजट में कृषि क्षेत्र के लिए इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच अपनाई गई है, जिससे परंपरागत तौर तरीकों के साथ ही हॉर्टिकल्चर, फिशरीज, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री ऐसे क्षेत्रों में वैल्यू एडिशन बढ़ेगा और इससे भी नौजवानों के लिए रोजगार के नए अवसर पैदा होंगे.
The Prime Minister said modern infrastructure is of great importance for modern India, and infrastructure sector is also a large employment generator. Mr. Modi said the implementation of 6,500 projects with 100 lakh crore rupees will increase employment opportunities on a large scale.
आधुनिक भारत के लिए आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का बहुत ही महत्व है. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का क्षेत्र भी एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन का बहुत बड़ा आधार होता है, ये सब कोई जानते हैं. 100 लाख करोड़ रुपए से 6500 प्रोजेक्ट्स का निर्माण बड़े पैमाने पर रोजगार के अवसर तो बढ़ाएगा, देश के विकास के हर क्षेत्र को वो एक नई ताकत देगा.
Presenting the Union Budget 2020-21 in the Lok Sabha, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the budget aims to boost income, enhance people's purchasing power and is dedicated to provide ease of living to all citizens. She said the objective is to provide corruption-free, policy-driven good governance and a clean and sound financial sector. Ms. Sitharaman said the budget is woven around 3 prominent themes of aspirational India, economic development for all and a caring society. The Finance Minister said the government is committed to the goal of doubling farmers' income by 2022. Addressing a press conference after presenting the budget, the Finance Minister said the emphasis is on providing money in the hands of the people, particularly the middle and lower middle classes. Ms. Sitharaman said the government also wanted to simplify income tax process and increase compliance. She said introduction of taxpayer charter is a major step which is in line with the government's commitment to ensure that honest taxpayers are respected. She said it is an article of faith for the government.
We wanted to achieve 2 goals. Make our intentions clear that we want to simplify the income tax process. We want to reduce rates. So to achieve both, we have come up this year with a new scheme with very limited exemptions to it. Ideally, a new scheme without any exemptions would have been the best. But still, because there are some exemptions which are absolutely indispensable, and therefore we have brought in those exemptions to it and kept it at a minimum.
The minister said government had to relax fiscal deficit target by 0.5% to boost consumption demand, private investment and public spending. She said corporate tax cut and improved GST collections will boost revenue generation. She said it will also give the comfort to bring down fiscal deficit next year with improved disinvestment. Industry chambers have welcomed the budget, saying it will give boost to investment, agriculture and rural sector. Talking to AIR, CII DG Charanjit Banerjee said there are several initiatives for ease of doing business.
ये रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं कि इकोनॉमी में कुछ सेक्शंस में बूस्ट चाहिए, काफी कुछ जॉयस है क्योंकि ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में उन्होंने काफी कुछ रखे हैं. टैक्सेशन जनरली में उन्होंने जो किए हैं लोगों को हाथ में पैसा देने के लिए, मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप एंड लोअर इनकम ग्रुप, आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी वेरी गुड स्टेप दैट शी हैज टेकन.
Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, said that the budget could be a step towards further empowering individual, industry and the nation as a whole. FICCI President Sangeeta Reddy said individuals should be happy because of reduction in the personal income tax. She said both the culture of trust and the appreciation are very significant and FICCI will look forward to the implementation of the budget proposals.
We believe that this could be a budget which is a step towards further empowering India, the individuals and the industry. And the final point, which was a theme which went across, was the culture of trust and the appreciation of wealth creation.
Talking to AIR, ASSOCHAM Vice President Vineet Agarwal said the budget will kickstart the economy. He appreciated the reduction in personal income tax and said it will bring more money in the hands and boost consumption.
Overall, it seems to be a good budget because it is reducing the taxation on individuals and bringing more money to the hands so that money can be used for consumption or for savings or whatever purpose, and ultimately that can benefit in creating more demand. And when demand is more created, then it will kickstart the economy.
Railway Ministry has said that it is working in a structured way on the setting up of Kisan Rail as proposed by the Finance Minister in the budget. Briefing reporters, Railway Board Chairman Vinod Kumar Yadav said the Railways is also planning to expand the Kisan Rail across the country.
ये जो ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने अनाउंस किया था किसान रेल पीपीपी मॉडल में, तो ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है इसमें रेलवे ऑलरेडी काम कर रही है, बट अनाउंसमेंट के बाद एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे में इस पे काम करेंगे और इसका विस्तार करेंगे पूरे देश में.
Mr. Yadav said the aim of the government is to make the railways the growth engine for the country's economy. He said the government has also enhanced the investment and will modernize its network across the country in the next 5 years. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The second Air India special flight has left for New Delhi from Wuhan with 323 Indian citizens on board. 7 Maldivian citizens are also being evacuated from the novel coronavirus hit city of China. A total of 647 Indians, including 282 students, have been evacuated by the India from China following the outbreak of the novel coronavirus in the neighbouring country. The first flight with 324 passengers landed in Delhi yesterday. Health Minister Harshvardhan reviewed the preparedness for the management of the novel coronavirus with senior officers of the ministry in New Delhi yesterday. Cabinet Secretary also held a high-level review meeting with Secretaries of Health, Civil Aviation, Textiles, Pharmaceuticals, Department of Health Research and Directorate General of Foreign Trade. Health Ministry said 52,332 passengers from 326 flights have been screened so far. 97 symptomatic travellers picked up by the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program have been referred to isolation facilities. 98 samples have been tested, of which 97 have been found to be negative. The earlier positive case found in Kerala is being monitored and is stable. The death toll in the novel coronavirus in China has risen to 304. Around 14,380 people have been infected with the virus in mainland China and 160 in other countries. The number of suspected cases has also gone up to 19,554 in China. According to the Chinese authorities, 328 people have recovered following treatment. Our correspondent in China has filed this report.
Many cities are putting more stringent measures in place as Huanggang, a city bordering Wuhan, becomes the second city to have more than 1,000 people infected. Huanggang in central Hubei province and Wenzhou in East China's Zhejiang province have regulated that only one family member is allowed to step out of the door every other day for grocery shopping in the city. National Health Commission has said that bodies of coronavirus victims should be cremated close by and immediately. Burials or transfer of the bodies are not allowed. Funerals are also not allowed to avoid spread of the virus. Anshman Mishra, AIR News, Beijing.
Delhi High Court has sought response of the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case on the centre's plea challenging the stay on execution of their death sentence, which was scheduled for yesterday. The High Court will again hear the matter today. Justice Suresh Kumar Kaith has issued a notice to the 4 convicts and Tihar jail authorities seeking their stand on the plea. The plea said the trial court judge had acted beyond its jurisdiction in postponing the death warrants. While Mukesh and Vinay's mercy pleas have been rejected by the President, Akshay's mercy plea was filed yesterday and is pending. President Ramnath Kovind will open the new global headquarters of Kana Shanti Vanam of Sri Ramachandra Mission at Nandigama near Hyderabad in Telangana today. Earlier, State Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundaranjan and a number of ministers and senior officials accorded ceremonial reception on his arrival at the Begumpet airport by a special aircraft yesterday evening. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has threatened to cut security ties with both Israel and the U.S. During a speech at the Arab League meeting in Egypt's capital Cairo yesterday, Mr. Abbas denounced the White House plan for ending the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The U.S. plan would grant the Palestinians limited self-rule in parts of the occupied West Bank while allowing Israel to annex all its settlements there and keep nearly all of East Jerusalem. Mr. Abbas said that he told Israel and the U.S. that there will be no relations with them, including the security ties, following the deal that Palestinians say heavily favors Israel. In cricket, India will take on New Zealand in the 5th and final T20 International at Mount Maunganui today. The match will start at 12:30 p.m. India will look to set a new record, as no team has ever won a bilateral series with 5-0 in the men's T20. India is already leading the series 4-0 after defeating New Zealand in 2 successive super overs finishes. Serbia's Novak Djokovic will take on Dominic Thiem of Austria in the men's singles final of Australian Open tennis in Melbourne today. In the men's doubles final, Australia's Luke Savall and Max Purcell will face Joe Salisbury of UK and American Rajiv Ram. In the women's singles, American Sofia Kenin won her first Grand Slam title with victory over Spain's Garbiñe Muguruza yesterday. Kenin, who turned 21 in November, is the youngest Australian Open champion since Russia's Maria Sharapova in 2008. Mumbai's favourite art festival Kala Ghoda kicked off yesterday. In its 21st edition, this year the annual arts extravaganza is packed with a bigger and tighter selection of vibrant events. For the next 9 days, Mumbaikars have an opportunity to enjoy a host of festivities including contemporary artworks, talks by esteemed names in the city and performances across music, theatre and stand-up comedy and much more on the streets of South Mumbai. And now, for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to you, Nishit Kumar.
Thank you, Paul. The Budget 2020 is the lead in all the papers today. Measures being taken to energize, motivate and put the common man and the economy in top gear. A growth is headlined by the Times of India. As new tax deal for the common man, the headline also has a befitting picture of the PM emphatically hugging famed cartoonist R.K. Lakshman's The Common Man. The Hindustan Times headlines is Micro Gamble for Macro Gain. The Sunday Business Standard headlines it as budget takes a leap of faith. The Sunday Tribune says Nirmala's novel approach, aspirational India, economic growth, caring society, adding further agri-infra push to spur growth. Tepid reactions form the domestic stock markets. Markets collapse. 3.4 lakh crore investors' wealth wiped out is headlined in the Asian Age. Another shooter opening fire at the CAA Shaheen Bagh protest site. The Sunday Times headline is now Shaheen Bagh man fires in air, caught by cops. And with that, it's back to you, Paul.
Thank you, Nishit. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says reforms announced in the budget will boost the economy and financially empower every citizen. Government wants to simplify income tax process and increase compliance, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Industry chambers welcome the budget, saying it will give a big push to investment, agriculture and rural sector. Second Air India special flight leaves for New Delhi from Wuhan with 323 Indians and 7 Maldivian citizens on board. And in sports, India to take on New Zealand in the 5th and final T20 cricket match at Mount Maunganui. Serbia's Novak Djokovic and Dominic Thiem of Austria to clash in the men's singles final of the Australian Open tennis in Melbourne. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.